Coming up on Unpacked.
You've got a nice body. Just wear something sexy, go on stage. This is a craft. This is a talent. Being able to move your body, being able to stand naked in front of people. Not anyone can do that, you understand?
Would you take more money to have sex without protection?
Yeah, I would. I was on a daily sun for impregnating 3 girls at the same time.
Living as a porn star, in this case, a man in South Africa. Our guest is here to share his story. Let's unpack. Siyabonga Mbatha, popularly known as Sia Entertainer, is an adult entertainer and porn star. Hailing from KZN, the 28-year-old has managed to build a reputation for himself, crafting a sustainable career from the adult entertainment and porn industry. This is his story. Let's unpack. Sia, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Swami, for having me.
Now, we've discussed on the show male adult entertainers, but today we want to speak specifically about being a porn star. Take us back to the beginning of your journey and how it is you even got introduced to the idea of male adult entertainment.
Okay, firstly, I go by the name of Siyabonga Mabotja. So what I can say is that I'm just a normal guy, you understand, who grew up having a passion for football. So,
what was that upbringing like? Because I understand soccer was so important to you.
Yeah, it was like I threw everything inside there. You understand? Like I never used to date. I never used to do anything from the primary up until high school. You understand? So there came a point in my life where I was very suicidal because my peers. Abantu thola ukuthi mhlawumbe umuntu ngengcono kunaye work around him, like they're playing for big teams, umuntu usedlalele Pirates, Chiefs and stuff like that. So that actually had a stall on me. And then my mother told me, "See, just because manje awukwazanga ungena ebholeni, it's not over."
So what had happened that you hadn't? Is it that you didn't get an opportunity to play for a bigger team?
Because nowadays it's not only about talent, so it's about luck. Because no matter how good you are, if ukhona izinto kini thola mhlambe abakuhlabelanga kini, those kind of things. So I grew up in a Christian background, understand? So my mother was like, "Sia, if you're not meant to be a soccer player, like unga for staying." And then she told me, "Sia, just come back to Joburg and then start afresh." Yeah, that's how I started. I came back to Joburg.
And you were how old now?
I was like 25. Yeah, I was 25. And then I came back and then I didn't know what to do. And then I saw Ukat Beerhang. Rest in peace, rest in peace to the legend. You know, I'm saddened by his passing. So I saw a couple of his videos on Facebook, and then I saw in his bio his WhatsApp number. So I hit him up after doing that, and then he told me that, okay, so I like your swag, like you're different, you understand? Because at that time I had a lot of tattoos on my body and I was starting to change because pain changes you a lot of times, you understand? So on Thursday I went to some club, when I got there, I introduced, and from there on I was a move.
So when you were at the club now with Cadbury, and you basically had hit him up and he said, "No, come through."
Yeah.
What opportunity did he give you that night to just open the doors for you?
Like, he asked me, "Steve Ndota." I was like, if it's Cadbury, next. All I know, just to pose, what's in, bro, like, you've got a nice body. Just wear something sexy, go on stage. Like, how are they going to receive you? So, when I got on stage, people went crazy, you understand? They went crazy, and then from Lapa, I've got a heart of a lion. I'm you're going places. Just stay focused. Because I'm like clapping, and stuff like that. Just focus on what you want. Like, forget about the naked girls and whatever. Just focus on what you came to do.
Did you understand at the time because what the work was? Or did you just see his videos online and think, there's something, one kaza, this guy, and I want to just get off of that energy?
I think I show Siswami would say, I thought it's all about stripping. I never knew would see kukhona a happy ending. I just thought we are stripper, utholi back tipper, and then you call it a day. But later on, it's Katmas Lucas Ham. I realized with no man, there's more to stripping than just going on stage, you understand, like expressing because this is a craft. This is a talent. Being able to move your body, being able to stand naked in front of people. Not anyone can do that, you understand? Yeah, so I'm one person who would say, after I realized the Paul I had nothing to lose. I just told myself, Mama, since I liked her. I told her that I'm a topless waiter. And then she said, my son, whatever happens, just be careful. Yeah.
So you had done the stripping, you discovered that there's another side to it.
Yeah.
What did the guys tell you the other work is? Because, I mean, they were the ones sort of mentoring you and teaching you.
I wasn't close with Lawabani because, like, I figured that way, like C5. So the only person that I could relate to was Ukatbere. I took him more as a brother. Not only just a mentor. And then Long Jail is okay, so when you go on stage and then someone like, are your services beyond stripping? And then if when I say you want extra money, just take that person and make that money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then when a person says, are your services, other services, what are those other services?
It's sex, straight up.
Straight up sex.
Yeah, straightforward. And I wanna I told local parents, I've got this this fantasy, like it's not a fantasy, it's something in me. What's in I'm a bisexual guy, meaning both genders, you're the guy I've been looking for. Because now I know if I get my clients abafana. But because it's strictly only women. So as soon as I told him about I came out of the closet and I'm chela without tuksaba. What I like that about you.
Okay, so now you go into the space of providing extra personal services, ne? And I mean, I asked this question of Cadbury actually, which was, and I remember he said to me, he's not selling sex, he's selling a fantasy.
Yeah.
Would you say you are selling sex?
I mean, I'm selling sex. I'm selling actually both. Because umuntu yamkhalisa. He or she has
Which is the fantasy.
Yeah,
yes.
That's the fantasy. And then I turn the fantasy into reality.
Yes.
Yeah, and then umuntu, I provide whatever that he or she wants.
Yes, yes.
That's
okay.
the difference.
Yes, I understand. So now you go into the space, you're providing personal services. What are some of your rules of engagement? Like when you get a new client, what are the terms and conditions?
I go all out.
What does that mean?
Meaning we would see whatever I want to do, I do. But most importantly, I ask my client, Fethu, are you comfortable with me doing this? Are you happy with me doing that? You understand? Because I will keep like $2,000. All you feel is pain. You understand?
So, I mean, are there no boundaries? I think that's the main thing I'm trying to understand. Do you not have any boundaries? Because you're saying whichever goes. What are your boundaries?
No.
What about protection?
Okay.
Would you take more money to have sex without protection?
Yeah, I would.
Wow. And you're not afraid?
I'm not afraid. I've got nothing to lose.
What about your HIV status or STDs?
Yeah, that's a question a lot of people ask me. Like, I'm on PrEP, not saying we would see it's 100%, you understand? But checking my status, taking care of my body, it's a priority give me. So, abanye abantu tell you umuntu uzothi, Sia, how much do you charge for a certain service? You're saying to me, okay, I charge 3,000 rands. Athi give me, okay, without protection, malini. You understand? Bese ngimbuza ukuthi mina why? Athi no, ukuthi mina I like it without protection because we don't use protection. Basically from lapho it's okay, if that's what you want, let's go for an HIV test.
Oh, okay, so you both go for
test,
okay, I understand what you're saying. But you're not afraid that it's not 100% accurate. You can still get a false negative or false positive even.
Doing this kind of job, it's a risk. And I'm one person who's not afraid of taking a risk. Like throughout my life, I've survived a lot of times and thank God for that. So I know he knows what I'm doing. So it's not like, even if I'm a client, I pray first. mangene stage, I pray first. Because uNkulunkulu knows my heart, you understand? So as much as people would judge me, but see, but I'm getting paid. So I'm a risk now, some people won't tell you, you understand? Umuntu uzokutshela ukuthi okay, let's use a protection. Bese umuntu akhona ayiqhumise ngamabomu. Gcina sekwenzakalani unprotected sex. So I'm just straightforward.
So are you also a prostitute? Would you?
Yes, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Food.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry, food.
That's one thing Cadbury was adamant was that he's not a sex worker.
I am.
So talk to me about the porn side of the work that you do. How did you get introduced into the porn side?
Cadbury wangitshela ukuthi yazi indaba, I can see when you're freaky.
So what do you mean by freaky?
I just mean ukuthi I'm not afraid to be naked. I'm not afraid to post myself having sex with whatever or whoever. You understand? Like, he saw that through my statuses and wangitshela ukuthi why don't you make money through lento leno yenzayo? Because when I'm OnlyFans, there's this and that. I'm like, okay, so let's sit down and talk. And he told me to open a Twitter account. That's where everything started. Because I remember within a week, I already had like 5K followers. My first week of opening it to my Twitter account. Then I then realized, if I'm only going to rely on stripping, because stripping only also goes, like, since I'm like the whole COVID situation, you understand? So if I'm going to be a male stripper / porn star, I'm making an income this side and that side.
So is the porn work only related to OnlyFans, or does your porn go into mainstream pornography?
Mainstream. And then because I've decided to also go international, like there's people who want to collab with me, like Africa, just because of my content. You understand? Yes.
What is it that's unique about your content?
It's a very good question. What's unique, it's firstly about my manhood is unique.
In what way?
While I was in KZN, I inserted pills inside of my manhood. Here in South Africa, they call it beads. You understand? Like those smaller things that you put on your penis. So
it looks bumpy.
Yeah. So
yes.
People out there, they want to explore, but would say, okay, I've slept with a guy with a normal, smooth penis. Like, let me try this guy out. And then when the person tries me out, he or she gets another kind of sensation that they've never had before. So that's the reason why I can see you've got this and this and that. So use that to your advantage. So then I used it.
Talk me through the reasoning to get pills inserted, because it sounds painful. Like you, yes, and your genitalia is very sensitive.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm a very risky person because doing these kind of things, it's not medically done. You don't go book or something. It's like you understand? And the fact that I've been to prison before, that's why I learned about it. And it's a matter of life or death. Meaning, if something goes wrong, your manhood is finished, like for life. You understand? So I'm a very risky person, and every time I take a risk, I win. If I don't take a risk, I lose. You understand? So that's the whole.
So let me offer him for a second. Why were you in prison, and how did prison teach you about beads or pills in your penis?
Okay, I was in prison for like I was framed for a rape, something like that. And then I was inside for like 6 months. And then the lady that put me inside, she realized she's actually like because I never done her harm, you understand? Like we were all faded, and then like I slept with her before she was faded, and then I left. You understand? And then so when she wakes up in the morning, she's drunk, she's high. So the first person she's going to remember is me, because while she was sober, and then she framed me, then I got arrested like that.
So did she eventually come out and get you exonerated?
Yes, like after 6 months.
Sure.
And inside prison, that's why I learned, because Moboshiwe yabona uhlala nabantu abancane nabantu abadala. So khona ubhuti wangitshela ukuthi siya ukufaka ama beads oqoqa umuzi. Because let's say uthi like personally mina I've got a wife, I've got kids, nginomuzi, like I've got everything. So I know ukuthi even if I can trust my wife, but njengoba ngiboshiwe angimazi wenzani ngaphandle. So mabathi iqoqa umuzi meaning ukuthi mangiphuma mina la ngaphandle with something different, she's going to forget about whoever she's been trying to hook up with and then she's going to come back home. And then I saw that, I was like, you know what, I can use that to my advantage. Then I did it.
Now I'm glad you mentioned the wife, because I was going to ask you about the fact that you are married. What does your work have to, how does it affect your marriage?
No, I'm not actually married yet.
Okay.
But ukhona umuntu esengimthembisile yabo. So ngasho ukuthi yena
So ukoda too.
Ngasho ukuthi like she's 50% in, 50% out, because manje ekugcineni imagine having a husband owenza lento engiyenzayo and ngamtshela naye ukuthi yazi mfethu wangithola ngenza lento engiyenzayo, it's either you take me as I am or lento lena iqhubeke. So she's trying, understand, because most of the times mangenza ama-gig ngihamba naye mase kuliwa lapho and stuff like that, she's always there, you understand. So ngasho ukuthi she's gonna have to be strong, because there's no way on earth things, because this is the only way I'm making an income. I've got a criminal record. I've got tattoos on my body. Yeah.
Why couldn't the criminal record be cleaned because the person came? It's too late. It's too late for ukuthi they can erase it. But I must come back looking check. So whenever I go there, it's there. So I have to live with it. So right now, do you also feel like you don't have a choice but to work in the space, because going mainstream, you have a criminal record and people would not be likely to hire you?
Honestly speaking, yes. And the fact would say I'm already like too deep inside. Like I started like last year. It was my birthday, 7th of September. From last year up until this year, just look at the amount of things that I've achieved so far. Like being on the show is an achievement for me. It's something that you understand? So if this wasn't for me, you understand? So for the fact that and the fact that I was introduced by a legend, meaning there is something about me. So if I'm going to take that and throw it away, I'm chasing after something, I won't be happy where I'm going to be working.
So let's go back then, because we were talking about what makes your content niche, and that's how we got talking about the beads and everything else. So let's go back to the content.
Yeah.
What else makes your content unique?
Okay, there's a lot of fake porn stars out there. Steals the content and then pretending ngathi yakhe. One thing that I always do on most of my videos, I show myself, you understand? I show my face and I show my manhood. So that umuntu no doubt to yena. That takes courage, you understand? Because what if my parents sees the things like bazong charge and like they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say, but it's just a trademark. I told myself, I'm gonna go into this game ngayo. Because most of the times when you see other porn stars, especially show like Mzansi, they don't show their face. You understand? So I just felt let me be me, let me be original, and people like that about me. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, mainstream pornography? I mean, you can go to the different porn websites. Is that stuff that you would want to do, like international porn and those type of things?
Of course. I had the privilege. In fact, I almost had a scene in Cape Town. Like it was a whole production, but certain like COVID rules, like it rolled it out. But there was promised a lot of money, like 80K for a set. Yeah, so I think we would say, what's the use if I'm going to be based in Mzansi kuphela? I need to show abantu baseMzansi. I know there are people out there who have the same kind of passion that I have, who are in the same situation that I'm in. Manje abazi ukuthi benze njani. So if that person ebona mina it's okay. If Sia can do it, why can't I?
What would you say it is you are passionate about?
Making people happy in every aspect. Yeah.
And for you, the work that you do makes people happy?
Definitely.
What do you say then to the people who are watching that think that the work that you do is sinful or immoral or anything else?
Let God be the judge, because we all have dreams, we all have whatever we have, and it doesn't mean if time is going to wait for you, or time waits for no man. If you fail at a certain aspect, move on, change your life. Now, sometimes I feel like, but I know deep down in my heart, when I'm standing in the judgment day, I know because like I'm a lost soul. My father left when I was like 5. So my mother was both a man and a woman at the same time. You understand? So I just believe this is something that I have to do. It's something that I have to let people out there know I exist.
How does now, the woman in your life feel in terms of the fact that you openly speak about the work that you do, and she will be introducing you to people?
Well, at this point in time, she realizes what's my passion. She knows what's my passion. She knows this is what I'm doing and I won't stop. So everything, the ball is in her court. If she feels the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing doesn't mean that I don't have a good side. You understand? I've got a good side, like I'm friendly, I'm romantic, you understand? So you can never take that away from me. So the ball is in her court. And if we are feeling you can't do this, you're not forced. We are but you're going to move on with your life. So even if it's whenever you go on to your website, because this is who I am and this is what I am, and I'm going to stick to what I love. Yeah.
And I think I get where you're coming from to say, you found me doing this.
Yeah.
And at the same time, what's that going to mean for your livelihood if you stop?
Yeah.
But I think my biggest concern would be, what does it mean for your partner if you are having unprotected sex? Because now everyone you sleep with is somebody she's sleeping with.
That's a very hard question. It's something that we fight about all the time. And I'm very honest with her. Like, she encourages me to say, you know what? If a client telephone without condom, say no. So, like, I'm trying, you understand? I will go easy, you understand? I'm trying, but I just pray as time goes on, I'll just learn to do things her way. Because already she's allowing me to be sleeping around with men and women, you understand? So, as time goes on, I pray with Nami, I find the courage to change.
And if a client wants to record your session, are you comfortable with that?
Yes, I am.
And who owns the footage?
Both of us.
So you both own the footage?
Yes, both of us.
And do you try and sell the footage that you have with your clients?
Yes, I do. And most of the times, people that book me, like guys that book me are guys that are either married, has got that lustfulness. It's only a few people that actually want us to record. But let's do it. Have whatever you have, let me have, and let me use this. Because he or she already knows I'm going to be posting it on my OnlyFans, on my Twitter, whatever, you understand? So that's why I advise most of my people who would say, I've got balaclavas where I'm going to hide your face if you don't want to be seen. But if we're now then we can do it. Yeah.
And are many of them that ask for a recording comfortable being seen?
Yes, they are. They are like, I attract freaks,
I'm so fascinated by the definition of freaks because I have an idea in my head what I think a freak is.
Okay, tell me what it is.
No. For me, I have a measure of what I would think is a freak because I have my own non-boundaries, which some might say, oh, you're a freak, you know what I mean? So every time you say your clients are freaks, I'm like, what makes them freaks? Is it because they're into, BDSM?
Yes.
Is it because, they want you to hit them? Like, what is it that makes them freaks?
I'm very dominant. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Don't let this whole face and this whole image fool you. When it's time for business, the devil inside of me rises up. I'll end up choking you, tying you up to the bed, smacking you, spitting on your face, peeing on your face, those kind of things. And some people like that, you understand? Especially like white people, they like that. And there are some...
And obviously this is all consensual. We're making it clear for everybody watching, this is consensual. Yes.
So it's not about race, in fact. Let me just correct that. It's not about race. It's just that a lot of people have different fantasies. It's just that you have to find the right person to be able to bring out that animal inside of you.
What has been the scariest thing a client has asked for, or the most shocking?
A client asked me to shit on his face.
Wow.
A client asked me to shit on his face.
And did you do it?
Yes, I did. Like, at first, I was like...
I'm not conservative at all, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was like, yo, I've never done this. But at the same time, I'm learning. Oh, it's okay, there are people out there that like those kind of things. So I did it, understand? And the person paid me extra just for doing that.
So what happens after that? Like, I'm trying to... What happens?
Like, there's this, it's like a specific chair that I sat on, and then his face is underneath my and then I just shit in his face, and he opens his mouth, and then afterwards he spits it out and then brushes his teeth, just for it to go inside. That's the freakiest thing that I've ever done.
Did you get any pleasure out of that?
Never. Like, I was shocked. Like, it's disgusting for me personally, but I just assumed, you know what, I brought out the best out of that person. Then I was like, okay, well, cool, let me do it.
Were they happy?
Yeah, like, more than the word happy.
I'm not often speechless on this show, but this, I'm like, I've heard about these stories. I've heard about somebody, like, defecating on somebody's chest, but in their mouth.
I swear to God, like, I still think about it up until today. Because I've never... Just imagine, I'm not going to the toilet, like, in his mouth. Until he get there. Until he get there.
Okay, that is quite shocking.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you consider what he did as freaky or gross?
That's freaky. That's freakiness to the hardcore. It sounds gross, but it's freaky, and it's offensive like, to some people.
Yes. Do clients ask you to dress up?
I don't do that. Never.
How? Where? No, who just said you're freaky? You don't dress up?
No. I would say sometimes a client will be like, Sia, I'm going to go lingerie. Like, yeah, go lingerie, I'm a guy, bruh. Like, I'm dominant, like I said. Like, I make the rules. I tell a person, listen, hey, like, I'm dominant. I don't want to be dominated, like, at all. Yeah, it's just me.
Have you ever impregnated a client?
You're taking me back to a story where I was on a daily sun for impregnating 3 girls at the same time. One was pregnant. And then the 2, they booked me for a private session. And then things got, out of hand, you understand? And then one thing led to another.
What does out of hand mean?
Meaning we got drunk, like we had some freaky sex in the room, without protection. Both of them at the same time, like throughout the whole night. And then after like a week or so, they texted me on Facebook to see we both are pregnant. And then I blocked them on Facebook.
Why? Why did you block them for telling you they're pregnant?
I would say, like, it's impossible.
How is it impossible?
Same time, Like,
well,
come on.
Wait, do you have kids?
I've got 7.
You've got 7 kids?
Yeah, I've got 7.
Including the 2 ladies?
Yeah.
So how many of your 7 children are clients?
4.
4?
4 clients, including those 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure what's about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you haven't done paternity tests or anything, but you're counting them?
Yeah, I'm counting them. Because I'm like, I'm in the middle. But if it happens, after a DNA test, I'll take full responsibility. No problem.
How do you feel saying that?
I feel proud. I feel like a man. Because as much as I'm a mistakes, I'm willing to take care of what I ukulungisa into engiyenzile yabo.
So why would you want to still not use protection if you know that not using protection
Leads to
and not doing what you're supposed to do, if you're not using protection, can lead to the woman falling pregnant?
Ngasho ukuthi I enjoy unprotected sex more. You understand? Like ngasho ukuthi I don't feel anything, man. I can like go. If I'm gonna use a condom, I'm gonna go the whole night. But if I don't, and then ngiyabonakala ukuthi khona into engiyenzayo. So njengoba ngangishilo ukuthi it's something that I'm gonna learn to like ukuthi kumele change as time goes on, just to protect my loved ones. Yabo.
So is it important for you to have a session with a client or for camera that brings you physical pleasure?
Ngathini mina ngiyayithanda attention. So me doing something in front of like people like ngiyangijabulisa. You understand? It brings out the best in me. I've got during issues, the fact that I didn't make it in football, it planted something inside of me of wanting to prove a point to see I'm something emhlabeni. So what better way than the kind of industry where I'm in? Yeah.
So where do you want to sort of see yourself going in this industry? Because I'm not sure I can see you at 70 still doing the same work. Really?
Yeah. I want to be the oldest Mbatha wenza lento le. Up until I go 6 feet under, I'm going to keep doing this. It's one thing I've been saying, you can say what you want to say, but I wanna, and like I'm one person. If I focus on one thing, I don't want any distractions.
And would you say there's a market for men that are older?
There is, and it's actually a turn on because most guys at that age don't actually like have sex. So, how come this person is this age but is still going strong? There has to be something. So, in fact, it inspires other. If that guy can do it, like something like that, yeah.
What about your children? What do you want them to know about the work that you do?
I want my kids to know, Daddy lived this life. Whether my friends growing up, but I love my life. And it's one thing that I'm going to teach my kids, if there's something that you like, if one of my sons become gay, I'm going to support them. I'm going to like them regardless. If one of my daughters becomes lesbian, I'm going to support them regardless of what's going on. Because the more you fight something, the more it grows inside of a person. So the passion that I had on the inside, it grew up and it made me who I am. So I knew I've got a purpose in this life. So that's the thing that I'm going to teach my kids.
You came out in the papers, like you said, about the woman that was saying that you impregnated them.
Yeah.
Did that finally then get your attention to contact them?
What happened was that my mom came in the morning with the paper. So I had to come clean. And I told her everything. And then...
What did she say?
You told me you are topless weight. So I smell stripper, what's that? And then, no, even like before that, like these two girls, like they were sitting inside the van. So I went inside there and I stated my side of the story, and then whatever. So in the umama ishilo ukuthi Sia 50% I'm not happy with your life, but 50% I'm happy because at least instead of because she knows I was suicidal. She knows, and I told her a lot of times, do you prefer to lose a mama than so, and the passing her Cadbury actually alerted her like this is for real. Can't just for their passion. So what about you, Sia? Because you a go-getter. So the only thing I tell her is that, Mom, all you gotta do is pray for me. That's all. That I make it out. That's all.
And do you think now she understands fully though? Because obviously she's gonna be able to watch this conversation.
Yeah, she is in anxiety food. In fact, I've been at hand with Sabe Kwanala.
Really?
Yeah. Been at hand with Sabe Kwanala. Now I site like I should see unkulise kanjani. The fact that how does it make her feel? Like the advantage and the disadvantages, you understand? So I know she's disappointed, but at the same time, she's proud of me because I'm making something out of myself.
Were you suicidal because of the whole football not happening, or were there other reasons?
No, for football, because I threw everything inside there. I threw everything, like it was the only thing that I knew. So when it was time for me to leave football, it was like even now, there's a wound inside of me that will never heal. I know it will never heal because I know, this is where I wanted to be, but I'm not there. But I can't wait to meet him just because I'm phumelela ngebolini. Isikhathi sizomela mina. No, I have to go out there and try something new.
Sure. In terms of the porn industry, what would you like viewers to know that maybe they would never know about the porn industry?
Just want people to know, the things that you see is not actually as easy as it looks. Because it's not hard, it's not easy to get an erection. And overseas porn stars use injections for them to get hard, and there's a lot of faking. Some women fake orgasm, some women fake squirting. You understand? So, in terms of there is money out there, because as much as umuntu angaba muhle on the outside, there's this thing inside of umuntu that's freaky, that freakiness. Every person has that inside of them, no matter how beautiful you are. So, if there is something that you can do out of porn, why not? Because at the end, we're all making money. It doesn't matter if you're a cameraman, we are found like 100 rands is 100 rands. Yeah.
So what's the most money you've made from one gig or one session?
I've made 6,000 rands. I'm around that too.
Do you charge per round?
Yes.
Okay.
It was even on the Daily Sun, like latest Daily Sun way, but I'm a male mahosha and stuff like that. But keep out Daily Sun. So I make like 6,000. Get depend. Like I go for one round, 3K for one round.
Does it offend you that they called you mahosha?
It doesn't.
Okay.
It's me. It's me in a very little. So why me like even if you can label me, I know that I'm a good person. Yeah, but like but and I'm able to kill mommy, feed my family, my siblings, even my kids. Yeah.
All 7 of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What are you?
I do skip sometimes, sometimes I'm pinching, but I do make sure that I feed them like men.
What are your final words for today?
My final words would say, abantu lapha ngaphandle, if you've got a passion and you've realized that don't look down on yourself. Sometimes you're sitting on top of your own success. God gives you a talent. Some people get 3, 4, or 5. If one thing doesn't work for you, look for another. Don't, most importantly, don't take your life, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
Sia, thank you so much for opening up to us about the work that you do in the porn industry, the other, private work that you do. I think it's easy to look at someone's life and be looking at you thinking you should be judging yourself or you should be ashamed. But I respect the fact that you're proud of what you're doing. You stand by the decisions that you've made and the fact that this is working for you. So thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you for allowing me to express myself. It means a lot.
#Unpacked with Relebogile. I'm not speechless often, but today I definitely was a little bit speechless. And I wouldn't say I'm conservative. I wouldn't say I'm freaky either. But I know some of you that are watching have gotten some interesting ideas going. Let's not judge, is all I'll say. Find your passion, and that's what I take out of this conversation, is stand by who you are, stand by what it is that you do. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night. Next time on Unpacked.
You know it's wrong, but how do you say to an older person no? Because, if they want to force themselves on you, they're going to do it.
Were you surprised that you were pregnant?
Yes, I was, because I'd never even kissed a boy.
So they just came in and said, we're here to take your son.
So the welfare, they have the authority, so they just take him.
Thank you so much for watching Unpacked with Relebogile Mabotja. Make sure you subscribe to my channel where you can get to watch more episodes. But more importantly, you can be part of our online community. Comment down below, share with us who you'd like to see on the show, what story you'd like us to discuss. We love engaging with you. Keep it coming and don't forget to subscribe.